Hello everybody, welcome to my live. I'm so late, sorry. I know it's like, I think I'm 3 or 4 minutes late. I'm very sorry. I was running around, I'm a little bit out of breath from running around last minute, but thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. Look, I have a hair sticking up alfalfa style right there. Okay, well, it's a nice night here in San Antonio. It's a little bit cloudy, but I think it's 85 degrees, so that's good. Did everybody have a nice Easter? I hope y'all had a great Easter. We had a nice, quiet, low-key Easter. Did some FaceTiming with the kids and grandkids, so that was fun. And here we are, it's Tuesday again. So again, thank you for joining me. I have a fun class tonight. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to be working with the Darling Dinos bundle to make some really cute dinosaur cards. And who doesn't love dinosaurs, right? The kids love them, the adults love them. They're super fun, and these are super colorful. And I have some really fun treats to go with them. So we're going to do like a boy card, a girl card, a boy treat, and a girl treat. So I think we'll just get started right off the bat. So let me turn you around and tell you about a couple things going on with Stampin' Up. All right, I'm going to attempt to sit like a normal person instead of sitting on my legs. So let's see how that works. And let's move this down. Okay. Get a nice view of the desk. Top. Okay, first off, you guys can see the first thing I want to talk about is free shipping. That starts tomorrow. It's for 3 days only. It's on orders of $75 or more. So on top of everything else that's going on right now, we have this free shipping special, which is super great. So, you know, the new Stampin' Rewards program started. So now if you place an order, you'll get, of $20 or more, you'll get 10% off as a credit to any future orders within the next year that you want to save up or spend it right away. So that's fun. So you get like an extra discount. And then with free shipping, that's really super special, I think. Now, hold on. I have to find Facebook to make sure that I can see myself. Let's give me a second. There we go. Okay. All right. Very good. Now I can see comments. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Renee. Okay. So that's super fun, right? And then if you're a demonstrator, you get the rewards and the discount and free shipping. So if you want to become a demonstrator, let me know because it's super awesome getting a discount. I love it every single time I place an order. All right, also another special that's starting is up to 75% off on Paper Pumpkin refills, pass kits, and add-ons. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin fan, even if you're a subscriber, you have to be a subscriber to get the extra 75% off these add-ons, right? So check it out. Maybe there's something, maybe there's a kit you really loved, maybe there's something you want. So check it out. Okay, let's get down to what we're doing tonight. So we're working out of the mini catalog, which is going to expire at the end of April, so not much time left on that. We're going to be working with the Darling Dinos. Hold on, I lied. I have to sit on my legs because that's just how I sit. Okay, so this bundle is super, super cute. Look at these cute little dinosaurs. There's dies and stamps in the bundle. Here's a couple of the cute little projects that are in. Look at that cute little egg. I didn't even use that tonight. Almost like a wedding couple. Isn't that cute? So I love this bundle. I planned to use this bundle so long ago and got the stuff for it and just didn't use it. And now I thought, okay, it's time. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this cute little kind of masculine, boyish card, right? And isn't that cute? Look at the little dinosaur footprints. We're going to do bubbles. So I found these really cool bubbles on Amazon. So these are all 4 individual bubble holders with little bubble wands. They're in these fun colors. So we're going to make this little bubble holder. Wouldn't that be a fun treat for somebody? Or if you're doing a dinosaur birthday party, you could make these party favors for everyone at the party. We are going to do this, guess what colors? Orange and pink. Are you guys surprised? We're going to be doing, look at it, matches my nails. We're going to do this fun happy birthday card. Very cute, right? Very pretty. And then, okay, these scalloped gift card boxes are going away. They're on the last chance list right now. So I'm using them one last time. And the little treat that I have in here, let me open it up and show you. is this cute little dinosaur candy necklace. So I don't know if you can see the dinosaur, but the dinosaur is pretty cute in here. There's all different ones. I'll show you a couple others of them later. So candy dinosaur bracelets. So these are fun. And this box, it's designed as a gift card holder. It's got these little sets. You can set a gift card up in here, but it kind of sits up. So to me, that just reminds me of a jewelry holder. So again, this would be a really super fun either little gift or party favor, right? If you have a little girls' dinosaur party, wouldn't that be a fun party favor? I'm sure at some point in the future, my grandkids are going to be into dinosaurs, and so they'll be wanting a dinosaur card. I'm not sure which one yet, Emmeline or Easton, but somebody in the future I know will love dinosaurs. Okay, so those are the projects we're going to make tonight. A lot of coloring. I've done some pre-coloring, so y'all don't have to watch me color all night, okay? So let's get started. We're going to start with the blue projects first. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Jolene. Jolene, you probably couldn't find me at first because I was late. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so here is the bundle, okay? I didn't even use all the stamps in here. There's so many cute stamps, so many little things that you can use in here. I think these are really cute sentiments, so we're going to use some of those. Fun. Look at these little glasses to put on the dinosaur. Cute, right? Here's the dies. It's a large set of dies, so it's 16 dies, and you can cut out all 3 of the dinosaurs with the dies, the balloons, the party hat, the bow tie, some flowers, and then some of these other dies that I didn't even use. Look at, you could do clouds and rocks and bushes, and super fun. Really a nice, very, very nice set. Okay, so what else am I using for this first card? So I'm using one of my new favorite die sets. I love shaped die sets, right? They're so awesome. Okay, textured notes dies, right? I love these rectangles. They have these beautiful textures that emboss when you cut out the rectangle. So we're going to use those. You can see I used it on 2 different layers here. And then look at this beautiful background here. So we're doing some embossing with this Fern 3D embossing folder. So this just makes really, really pretty background. I can't believe I haven't used this earlier, right? Because it's pretty fun. Okay, so here we go. Here's our pieces for the card. Again, as usual, there's no more host code. So if you guys want the kit, I'm going to show you for all 4 projects today what comes in your kit. It's going to come in the envelope just like this. These are the actual pieces. I will have already die cut these rectangles for you. I will have already embossed with the fern for you and the little label. So you'll get things just as they are, so you can easily make the card yourself. All you need is the bundle. All you have to do is place an order of $50 or more on my website where you're identifying me as the demonstrator by Saturday, and you'll receive the Make and Takes free. If you don't want to place an order, but who wouldn't want to, especially with free shipping over $75, then you can purchase the Make and Takes for $22. Just email me. And here's my email up here. If you're on my email list, you'll get my email tomorrow, and you can just reply to that. Okay, here we go. Azure Afternoon, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Our card is going to open like this. I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. We're going to stamp on that. I've taken this piece, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, okay? Just to add another layer of the Azure Afternoon. And you can see I put it through the embossing folder, ran it through my machine, and look how beautiful that is. Can you see the detail? I love it. So that's going to end up being our first layer. Now, anytime I emboss like this, I want to use a lot of adhesive to make sure that it's going to stick down. So I'm using more than usual. And sometimes liquid glue is better because sometimes the embossing can cause the tape runner to pull up some of the paper. But I think I did okay there. So putting extra. This is going to leave a skinny border. So I'm just going to center it. Just like that. Now we have the front of our card all ready to go. So these are some of the layers from the front. I did this piece in garden green. Again, you can see the little texture. Isn't that texture pretty on this rectangle? We're going to do a little backgrounding on this one. And this is, again, a textured rectangle. And this is basic white. So we're going to do some work on that. We're going to stamp and color our dinosaurs on this scrap. I think the scrap is like 4x3, right? You just need a scrap of basic white to do your dinosaurs. And then this is also from that textured rectangles, and it's got a little bit of stitching on it just for the sentiment that we're going to put on there. Okay, so we have some work to do. Let's see, where do we want to start? Let's start with the background because that's fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper and I'm going to put this down. Now, I do like blending. It's super easy. Hi, everybody. Hi, Anne-Marie. Jolene, you want to make a birthday card for your grandson? That's awesome. Okay, so now you could just do the blending just like this on here. I want to keep my white border. It's got that beautiful embossing. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Post-it tape and just cover up the border. And so I'll have a nice clean edge. And I'm just reusing my Post-it tape. You could reuse it many times. This is what it looks like. It just comes on a roll. I get it from Amazon. And I use this all the time. I love Post-it tape. All right, so I'm just gonna line, and again, you don't have to do this part. Let's see, do I have another long one? Which one's longer? I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just gonna, again, make a nice line. I just wanted a nice, clean white border. This one's not long enough. There we go, that's better. And of course, we wanna make it straight if we're able to. All right, one more. And so the blending only takes a minute, right? We're just going to get our blending brushes. I'm just going to do a little blue in the background for kind of a sky look. So I'm going to take some Balmy Blue, my favorite sky color, and just take one of hi Barb, one of my blending brushes, and just do the top part in blue. Make a little sky going on here. So just like the top half, I feel like I need a little bit more ink. It seems like sometimes you can get carried away when you're blending with the ink because it doesn't look that dark till you take the stuff off, right? So we're not going to get crazy here. I think that's good enough. It doesn't have to be a super dark sky. And then on the bottom, I'm going to use some, did I pull it garden green on this one? Okay. And we'll just keep that really light. All right. Or not very light. We'll see how that goes. I like the little variation in color. It shouldn't be looking perfect, right? Okay, now, next, let's take our tape off. We're gonna get our stamp out, the little grass stamp, which I think is so cute. Look at how we've got some nice clean edges on our border. Okay, can y'all see how we got our clean edge on that? Doesn't that look good? All right, super easy. We're gonna do some more blending in a little bit. But for now, let's get that garden green out again. And we're just gonna do some of these little grass bunches, grass patches, whatever you wanna call them. Super cute. Just so we have a little ground for our dinosaurs. And I'm just gonna kind of do a little bit of up and down so they're not all even. I think this isn't dry yet from blending, so I'm quite certain I'm getting it all over my fingers. I think 2 more will do it. Okay, little bit of grass, super cute, right? Okay, so we have our background. Let's put that aside. Let's do another easy part. Let's do stamping of the sentiment. And I'm going to do that in Blueberry Bushel because I wanted to make sure it stood out with the blue. And we're going to do Hope Your Birthday is Dynamite. And we'll put that right in the center. Okay, there we go. We've got that. All right, it's dinosaur time. Well, you know what I forgot to blend a little bit on the inside of the card. What we're going to do on the inside is just do a little bit of the green again, so it's kind of like grassy ground. And then we're just going to do a couple more of those, and we're going to stamp some footprints. So before we do the dinosaurs, let's just finish our inside. Hold on. I lost my green. Hold on. Black, blue. Oh, here it is over here. Hey. All right. Back with the blending brushes. Hold on. My Post-it tape is not sticking to keep my measurements up. I see some butterflies on here. I don't want to go too far up. Ugh, why was I closing that? Sheesh. All right, we're just going to do a little bit of grass, but let me do the footprints first. So the footprints, I think I did in basic gray. So let me pull that down. And aren't these footprints cute? Look at little dinosaur footprints. So we're just going to kind of make them walking across the page. Kind of up and down again-ish. And then that'll tell us where we want to go ahead and put our, these aren't very straight. I think the dinosaur was drunk walking across here. Maybe, I don't know, not straight. All right, let's add a little bit of grass and we'll call that a wrap on the inside. Looks like we have a little space here and maybe here. Cover up that blotch. All right, there's the inside. Kind of cute, isn't it? All right, so we've got that. Now let's do some dinosaurs. So I'm going to do Memento Black. Now this is the one where I took the white blank pad and added Memento ink and turned it into a black ink pad, which works pretty well. The only thing is I did over ink mine a little bit, so it tends to come up, if I'm too heavy with it, it comes up a little dark and fat on the lines. So, but I'm going to keep breaking it in. See, that's not bad. I think that's a pretty good clear image, don't you? All right, so we have a Stegosaurus, a T-Rex. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's do some coloring. So we'll color this one, and the rest I'm just going to tell you kind of what colors we made it. So I'm starting with Azure Afternoon because I kind of want him to match a little bit, and I'm going to do some of the dots with Blueberry Bushel. And all I'm really going to do, and I'm doing this kind of for all of them, is just kind of do a little bit of darker on the outsides of stuff, and then some areas that I think should have a little bit of shadow maybe, or the edges. So I'm just starting with the dark and just kind of going around the edges. And then we'll leave that open because we're going to use it again. And let's fill in some of these lines just to add a little bit of shading. And then I'm just going to go in and color. I thought about doing, I don't know, is this like the crown? What would you call this part of the Stegosaurus? A different color. But every single time I just get into the face, so I'm like, yeah, it's going to have to be all the same color. But you could do different colors if you wanted. I found, you know, I struggled with this set a little bit because I couldn't figure out what colors do I want to use? What paper do I want to use? And then it kind of came together where I was kind of happy with it. Okay, so that's basically it. Let me just start filling in some of these other places that I want some of the dark. And so I'm just going to pick a side that I kind of want the shadow on. And then along the bottom, and then I'm just going to go underneath the chin. I want it to be a little shadowy under there. All right. Go around the polka dots. So how's everybody? Did you have a nice Easter? What's everybody been up to? I hope y'all had good weather for Easter egg hunts and all that good fun stuff. So I'm just trying to color fast because nobody wants to watch this, right? But trying to stay on the lines too. So I just had dinner. We ate ham for the 3rd night in a row. But we had little ham slider sandwiches for dinner, so that was good. I think we're done with the ham now, though. That's it. We'll just freeze the rest and resume normal diet tomorrow night. Okay, just got to finish up the face. Then for the horns, I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with the little horns too. So I ended up using a little bit of basic gray, and I just left it white striped. And I did that with several of the projects tonight, left kind of a little bit of white here and there, just to keep it kind of light and not overall too dark. All right, is there any place else I want to add just a little extra color? I think that looks fine. So we're gonna move on now. I'm gonna take some dark blueberry bushel and just fill in, wrong side, fill in these dots. You could leave the dots white too if you wanted to kind of keep it light again. But I used a little bit darker of a dot. And this kind of, you know, matches our sentiment, right? Because we brought that color in. Then I took a little bit of, this is dark gray granite. And I just did like every other one on the horns. And then I did the little nails on the feet in the gray granite. I think he looks cute. Okay, now his friend, here's what I did. I won't color that one for you. I used, so we don't have a garden green blend, right? So I ended up using shaded spruce, dark and light. And then I used the dark lemon lime twist to just fill in. I left the nails white. Did a little, let me get this closer so you can see, and just kind of left some of the white stripes. Okay, so it was a little bit lighter. So that's the colors I used to do the T-Rex. Okay, so then you're going to take your dies and just put them on. Like here, these fit so perfectly to cut your cute little dinosaurs out, right? Love it. And here's the ones we have cut out then. So we have our little friends for the front. So we're ready for that. Okay, I think we have all our pieces. Let me move some things aside and we'll assemble this card up. Okay. All right, hold on, I'm just reading. Okay, so inside, easy. You can put whatever sentiment you want in here or write something. Okay, there's our inside. Now, our layers, we're going to put our background just flat on the granny, I want to say Granny Apple's garden green rectangle. So we want to frame it out. Then I'm going to get some dimensionals and pop it up. Let me find some here. I'm sure I have some ready to go. So we'll give a little dimension and pop that up. We're also going to pop up our little dinosaur friends and the sentiment. So popping up everything. Okay, this goes right in the middle. Make sure I've got the opening on the right side. All right, let's put some dimensionals on these guys. And on the sentiment, which apparently I've lost. Hold on. All right, did anybody see where that went? We're 5 minutes in and I've already lost my sentiment. Looking, don't see it. There goes my, oh, I found it. Fell behind my stamp pads. Oh, no, Jolene. Sorry to hear about the pool liner. That's a bummer. We used to always open ours in Chicago at the end of April, too. I always asked for the first appointment of the year and the last appointment of the year. Because sometimes you get, you know, nice weather right away. We're fortunate here that it's already been summer weather. Lots of swimming. Okay, this guy's going to sit in the grass right there. Let me pull these off. All right. Aren't they cute? Okay, so this one is going to go here. So this part's popped up, although it doesn't seem that popped up. So I'm going to put a little adhesive at the top of this sentiment, and then at the bottom, I'm just going to cut a little bit to put at the bottom, because we want to use up all our edges, right? So this is perfect. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it right here, as far as up as it can go. And then we'll just stick it on. Okay, so lots of choices then for embellishing. So this is what I picked. This is a new one. This is the rainbow adhesive back dots, still available. So I took the blue ones from here, which seemed perfect. Hold on. I must have one that's open. All right. So let's just put some of these on. Come on. And another little one. Right there. All right. Card number 1. Cute little dinosaurs. Okay, hope you guys like that one. Let's go on to the next one. I'm trying to figure out where to put these. So let's do our little bubble maker next. We'll do all the blue stuff first, all the boy stuff. Now, we've done this one before. If you guys remember, we did one of these for Halloween, which was super fun, and had little Halloween bubbles. So I think this is super fun. All kids love little bubbles, don't they? So I do want to say, if you get my card kit this week, I'm also going to include 4 little bubbles, so you can make the project as it is. And I'll also include one of those dinosaur candy necklaces, right? Because you want to make it with what you have, and you probably don't want to buy a huge bulk. I mean, look how big. Here's the dinosaurs, right? So this is from Amazon. That's a lot of them, right? You probably don't need that many. So I will send you enough so that you can make the actual project. And then when we do the girl thing, I mean, look how many are in here. Tons and tons of these, right? So I'll send you a couple of these so you have them. Maybe you can eat one and then make your project with the other one, because these are always fun to eat. Look at the cute, all the different colors of the dinosaurs, different varieties. Okay. Like I said, I did buy these a long time ago. They're not expired. Don't worry, I didn't buy them that long ago, but, you know, this was kind of in the plans. All right, so this is a super easy project. Let me pull out the pieces for this. Okay, so measurements for this. We're starting with 5.5 by 5 as your afternoon. And let me get one out so I can just show you how I cut it. It's already going to come cut and scored for you, just like this in your kit, okay? But let me just show you how I did it. If you're at home and you're making this project, let me find a piece of as your afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to start with 5.5 and then cut it to 5. So that is our starting point. And I like to use my cutting board for scoring. I do have a scoreboard, but I never drag it out. Maybe I'm just too lazy. I don't know. So what we're going to do is score it on the long side. So this is the 5.5 inch side, right? So we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch on the long side. Okay, then we're going to turn it here and we're going to score at 1/2, 1, 3, and 3.5. Okay. Then we're going to take it and we want to cut it 2 inches from the top. So you can see this has 2 1/2 inch score lines over here. This side that doesn't have a 1/2 inch on this side, this is going to be the back of our card. So we don't want to cut that. So what we're going to do then is we want to cut 2 inches down. So I'm going to turn it like this. I'm going to cut it all the way to this last score line right here. Okay. You guys, can you see this last score line? Probably not too well. So I'm going to cut it all the way across this way. And then I'm going to take it here and make sure my lines, and just take it in. Oops, just a little bit more. All right, and that piece comes out. We don't need that piece. And this is what we have left, okay? Same as the other piece, all set and ready to go. Okay, now let's fold on our score lines. And just quickly burnish all these lines. It's a very small little box. And then this 1/2 inch one on the bottom we want to score. Okay. Now, this bottom corner, again, we're at these double score lines right here. You can see we don't need this bottom square, so I'm just going to cut that off. We're making all our cuts on the bottom on the 1/2 inch score line. So get rid of the first square. Then you're just going to cut on each of the score lines all the way to the first score line here. So here, here, and here. And then just to make things a little bit neater, on the little squares, I'm just going to cut off the corners just so it's a little bit neater and tucks in nicer. And that's it. Okay? All right. Let me pull these off. All right. So now this is going to fold in. This last piece is going to fold like this. And see how that's going to fold to the front like that? And you can see that's going to make our little box that we're going to put it in. Okay, so I'm going to take some adhesive here, and I think I'm going to use, because this is super sticky, my Stampin' Seal Plus. I always go over the edge. Why is it that I can't judge that properly? I don't know, but it's no matter. If you go over the edge, just tuck it back in. It's not a big deal. Okay, so this is going to go here, just like that. Now we've got our box started, okay? Now we just have to tuck in the flap. So since this is the front, I want to do this front flap last. So I'm going to take a little bit of this, and I didn't start my glue yet, so let me get my glue started. Oh my goodness. Avalanche. So let me get my glue going. And we're just going to put a little bit of glue on the inner flaps. I think it's about time for a new glue. It feels like it's not that full. All right. Let's see. Someday it's going to be a miracle, and I'm going to get my glue started before I go live. All right, folding in the back part first. Then we'll put some glue on the front flap. You could use the tape again if you want. It's probably better for me to use it on camera because it sticks right away and I don't have to hold it, but that's okay. All right. So I'm just going to hold that down for a minute. It only takes a minute for our glue to stay in place. All right. So I'm just going to hold it for a second. Okay. All right. So I have two pieces here. So this is, and this is going away. This is from the Regals DSP. Okay, you know how you have all the different patterns and all the different color families. So this is Regals. It's the Garden Green. And these are both 1 7/8, but one is 2 3/8 and one is 2 1/4. So the 2 1/4, it looks like, is going to go on this part right here. Okay, and it's going to slide just a little bit into the box, just a tad. Okay, we're going to have kind of a skinny border here. So I thought it was a little bit jungly and fun, right? This little cute little pattern. Time to use up some of these colors before they go away. We're going to get new patterns in all the colors when the new catalog comes out on the 6th. By the way, I keep forgetting to mention, if you need a catalog, email me. I'll be happy to send you a catalog in the mail. I can send it with your kit if you order a kit, or by itself if you just want the catalog. So just let me know. I have some catalogs here in my craft room ready to go out. Let me know if you want one of the new catalogs. Okay, there we go. So we have the front. All right, we're going to take some of this Daffodil Delight, this little satin ribbon, and we will tie it around the top just to add a little bit of something, right? I wanted to add, I kind of wanted to match the colors a little bit as best I could of the bubbles. So we've got some primary colors and then also added the blue, the orange and the green. So we've got a mixture of colors, but I figured this matched the yellow bubbles, so it was good. And we're gonna do a cute little yellow T-Rex. Okay, so there's our bow. I'm gonna move it just over here a little bit, angle it a little bit up, and then let's just cut our ends. Okay, now we can fish out some bubbles and we'll put in our bubbles. So you'll get assorted. I can't promise what color bubbles you're gonna get because it looks like there's about 8 different colors, and so they're all a little bit different. So, but I'll make sure all 4 of them are different colors. All right, and what am I missing? Blue, green, orange. Okay. But there's also purple and light blue and pink, and I don't really think it matters what colors you put in here because they all are going to go with the jungle theme, right? Okay, there's our cute little bubbles. So this we're going to do, this is just a scrap. We're going to take our memento, just like before. We're going to stamp our T-Rex, and I won't even bother to go through the motions with that. Let me just show you how I colored it. So I colored him with Daffodil Delight, light and dark, and some of the pumpkin pie. You can use the light or the dark pumpkin pie. So I did him in yellow and orange. Also on the same piece of paper, you're going to do your dinosaur here, and then you can do over here your sentiment. Okay? So when I did this, I did it the same, the Azure Afternoon to match, which is fine. You can do that. But I thought, would it look better with Blueberry Bushel? So we're going to stamp this one in Blueberry Bushel. And I've done the You're Terrific, but it was kind of long for the box, right? I mean, you can do it like that. But what I decided to do was kind of do on top of each other. So I'm just going to take the You're, and I'm only going to ink up the You're. So I'm going to put that right about there. Then I'm going to clean it off. Clean off my stamp. And do the Terrific. Hold on. Dry that off a little bit. Terrific. Let me pull it a little closer so I can see. I need to get on top of it. And then you can kind of center it under here. Make sure it's straight. You're terrific. See, there we go. All right, so we lined it up that way instead, so we have a little bit more room. Okay, all I'm going to do is take a pair of scissors now and cut that out. And we do this a lot, right? It's kind of fun. I think all little kids like to get bubbles. So I think, again, this would be really fun to give to somebody. Okay, so we've got that. We've already colored and die cut our dinosaur. So let's get these things popped up. All right, sorry. I was distracted and looking at the comments again for a second. Right here. Okay, I'm going to put another dimensional here to put our sign on. And I'm going to add a little bit to this side just to seal, because this is going to go directly on the dinosaur. Just like that. Now we did add a little bit of bling, and I went to my, my go-to that I always go to, and got some basic rhinestone jewels and colored them. And in this case, I colored them orange because I thought orange would be fun to put on there. So I got my dark pumpkin pie and just colored some of them. Hold on, I'm gonna need that later. So we'll do a big, a medium, and a small. Try not to press too hard and ruin my tips because I am notorious for ruining the tips of my markers, doing things with them, like coloring these and splatter. Okay, that was pretty easy, right? Nice, easy little thing to do. You could see doing a lot of these. They're easy to make. You could do about a dozen of them, right? Okay, that's it. That's our cute little project. I think I do like it a little bit with the darker words, with the darker blue, blueberry bushel. Up to you though, whatever you want to do. You can make your dinosaur any color that you want. Okay, next. Time for some pink and orange. Let's get on to this one next. All right, so this one, I brought in, I just started using these last week, these Everyday Arches dies, because I am just in love with these. Now, these are, I wrote all this stuff down, but I left it on my desk across the room. I think these are coming back May 12th, but these are super fun. I really like these. The other thing I used was another old standby, Stylish Shapes dies, to do a banner. All right, here's the pieces for this card. We're going to do Melon Mambo, 8.5, 5.5, scored of 4 1/4, 5 1/4 by 4 on the inside, and then I have this little strip. So do you guys recognize where this paper is from? I've got this nice little orange pattern to go with it. And yep, you guessed it, one of my favorite papers, right? The Friends of the Ocean DSP. Still available, you can still get it. So that's what we're gonna do on the inside, keeping it simple. So let's just put this on the bottom, put it on the inside of the card. I'm getting so thirsty. I think that ham was kind of salty, but good, very good. Delicious ham. Okay, all right, hold on next. My leg is asleep. All right, so next layer, 5 1/4 by 4 of that beautiful DSP. Now, we're going to start layering up some of the arches. I've got another piece right here, and we're going to do some stamping on this. We're going to do some stamping on our label, and we're going to do some more blending on our white die. I'm just checking to make sure I got the right size there. Okay, so let's pull that back. And so this time I didn't do a blue sky, because really what I wanted was confetti. And I was trying to figure out, do we have a confetti stamp? And we might, but then I thought, people are going to kill me if I'm like, oh yeah, I have this stamp set too, so you can do the confetti. I'm like, no, we don't want to use extra stamp sets. Let's use what we have. So I'm going to use some Granny Apple Green this time. And we're going to do a little bit of green across the bottom. Now you could tape this off again if you wanted a white cleaner edge. Up to you. We're just doing a little bit on the bottom, just simple like that. The other thing, since I wasn't going to search for a confetti stamp, I decided let's just go ahead and do some splatter. Okay, so I just took Melon Mambo, and I'm going to do it with my Stampin' Right markers instead of my blends. The blends, you're going to get more of bigger dots on it. Well, I'll show you both then, because this one, we'll see the difference, right? You can see how the splatter's kind of small. I did those with Stampin' Right. Let's take Melon Mambo. Ugh, I can't get it open. Here we go. And we'll just do some splatter. See, there's quite a difference. And let's get some pumpkin pie and do it here. Actually, I think I like the bigger, darker splatter better. It looks more confetti-ish to me. I'll show you the difference so you can see it. Here's the difference, right? this has a little bit more color, so I'm glad we tried that. Okay, we can just put this, oh no, we have to stamp some more. All right, so now we're gonna take that grass again, this time in Granny Apple Green. And let me just clean off my stamp. And we'll use the Granny Apple. So again, just up and down some random grass. Across the bottom. Just like that. Now we're going to take some Melon Mambo and add some little flowers. So there's this really cute little stamp in there that I love. And it's just little flowers. Isn't that cute? So these just set right on top. You can see how the triangle goes. So I'm just going to take some Melon Mambo and add these little bitty flower tops to the grasses. And we'll have these cute little bunches of flowers. I'm probably going a little bit low on the green. I can go a little bit higher so the flowers aren't all over the stems. Let me show you that up close so you can see it. And then we've completely completed. Aren't those cute? Look at the little flowers. We've completed our little background for our dinosaurs. All right, so we're just going to seal this down. We've got that layer ready to go. We're just going to do happy birthday. And because I'm doing some other stuff in Memento, I decided just to go ahead and do the sentiment just in black. I could have done it in Melon Mambo, but I thought the black looked good. So just a straight up happy birthday with the stamp from the kit. I think I went a little heavy on this, on the ink. Let's see how we are. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, so this time we're going to do Stegosaurus again. We're going to do this one pink. And this time we're going to do a Brontosaurus. Super fun. And this one we're going to do in pumpkin pie and then a little bit of, I'll show you in a minute what we're going to do. Okay, we're not done because we want a couple more little accessories. So, balloons. We need 3 balloons. 1, 2, 3 balloons. We want a little bow tie. Looking for all my little bitty stuff. All right, party hat for the Brontosaurus. Bow tie for the Stegosaurus. Or a bow. We were not going to say bow tie because she's a girl. It's just a bow. But she's going to wear it around her neck. Okay? All right. And I think that's all we need for this. We're going to color these and cut these out. So let me pull these out. I've already done that so you can see. I used Melon Mambo and I used a light pumpkin pie and left a little bit of white. So that's how we colored this little Stegosaurus. The Brontosaurus, I used pumpkin pie and then added a little bit of light Melon Mambo. All right, to color her. Super cute. We did 3 balloons. I did one in Daffodil Delight. I did one in Melon Mambo. And I did one in Pumpkin Pie. And I just did a little bit of shading on one side. And so that kind of looks good. All right, let's see what else we have. We have the little party hat. Hi, Lisa. Okay, little party hat, Melon Mambo, and the light Daffodil Delight. All right. And then the little bow in Daffodil Delight. Look how little that is. I have to show you the die on this too because it's really cute. And again, pumpkin pie. So, you know, I'm always... Stampin' Up is so smart, right? So that's a very little bow. But look how big they made the die so you don't lose it. You can hold on to it. You can line it up well, right? So the die itself is a little bit bigger for this little tiny bow, which is really great. That works out good. All right, I clearly need another piece of Post-it tape because my measurements keep falling down. I need them to stay up in case I need to refer to them. Okay, so we've die cut out all the pieces now. All right. And we are ready to start building our card. Now, on the inside, I want to show you too, because I stamped on the inside, and I should have done this before I put anything else on here. This really cute sentiment that says, "Roar means I love you," and "dinosaur." And that's 2 different stamps. And we're going to do that in the pumpkin pie and melon mambo. So let's open this up. I think I can still pull this off. Here is the first stamp. It says "Roar means blank and dinosaur," and you can insert whichever one you want. So let's melon mambo that. So that's going to go right in the middle here. Cute, right? All right, and then we need our "I love you," which we're going to do in pumpkin pie. And we can see where it goes right in the middle with our clear stamps. There we go. Cute, right? All right, inside finished. Let's build our outside. We're going to start with this layer and pop it up. Somebody's barking downstairs. Maybe talking to the neighbor dogs, not sure. All right, one more. Getting carried away. All right, I want to leave a little bit of room at the bottom for my sentiment. So I'm going to go pretty close to the top up here and then center it on the sides. So that's what we have so far. We're going to, let's take a little glue and add the party hat for our little brontosaurus. We'll let that dry for a second. I don't want to cover up her eyebrow. Very cute, right? Let's add the bow right here. I need a little help from my little friend here, my mini tweezer. Okay. All right, and so the other thing we're going to do, which I should have done, you guys, I don't always do things in the right order when I'm on video, but we need balloon strings for our balloons, right? And they're going to kind of go behind our stegosaurus. So I kind of want to see kind of sort of where I'm going to put my balloons, and then I'm going to know where to make my line. So hopefully this will stamp okay, because it's kind of bumpy because I have my dimensionals under there, but let's give it a shot. You could also use a thin black marker. All right, so I'm going to have one right about here. All right, so far so good. Another one coming up like this. All right, and the third one I decided I wanted over here. Okay, got lucky there. All right, let's start popping stuff up. So Lisa, yes, I'm still offering kits with an order. Since there's no host codes anymore, I'm just going by dates. So if you order the kit by Saturday, you'll get it for free. I'll send you the kit for free. It comes with everything, as you know, all the cardstock and stuff to make the cards. I'm also including the bubbles and the candy bracelet for sure. It's free with a $50 or more purchase. Keep in mind, y'all, that if you spend $75 or more, you get free shipping, which who doesn't love that? So that's a good deal. And then you get 10% in rewards into your account, which is awesome, because now you guys get the rewards on any order of $20 or more. So that's really special. Okay, let's use up some of these pieces here for our cute little dinosaurs. I feel like there's certain bundles you just have to get, right? Like the dinosaurs they were a must for me because of the grandkids situation. All right, I'm gonna kind of put this here. Do I have any regular ones? I'm gonna kind of put it here to keep his hat in place too. And that should be enough here. All right, I think we are sufficiently dimensionalized. And then also, I think I mentioned earlier, if you don't want to place an order with me, sorry, I also sell them for $22. But, you know, you might want to place an order because maybe you want the bundle. So earn the free kit that way and you don't have to pay the $22. So personal choice, but plenty of bubbles and bracelets to go around. Now I'm kind of positioning these a little bit so some of the flowers show too, right? Look at this one, looking at that one in the balloon. So cute. Cute little friends. So I don't know what we're doing next week yet. I'll be back next week. But Mother's Day is creeping up. And so I feel like I'm a little pressed for time now to get Mother's Day cards done, because if we do a Mother's Day class next week, man, I got to get those out in the mail right away so you guys have time to make them in times for Mother's Day, right? So I have to pick a good kit for Mother's Day. And so I was kind of looking, you know, searching on the Stampin' Up website for Mother's Day sentiments, trying to find out, all right, which kits have Mother's Day sentiments? And there was at least 3. We're going to center that down there. All right. So that's it. Let's add a little bit of bling. And this time I chose these really pretty. Have you guys used these before? These iridescent faceted gems. Look at how sparkly and shiny those are. I know somewhere I have an open one. Here we go. Let's use that up first. So I'm trying to see, I don't think I have it handy close to me. But there's one it says like Mom and Grandma. I can't remember the name of it, but it's got all kinds of cute sentiments for Mother's Day that I think would be good. And that might be the stamp set that I go with. But I also want, I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe florals for Mother's Day? I feel like that's always a good choice. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can come up with for next week. Okay. That's our pretty little card. I hope you guys like this one. I think this is my favorite project because I just, you know, of course, love these colors. Can't get away from it. Okay, last project. Now again, these are on last chance. I've used the heck out of these scallop boxes because they're so easy, right? They're easy to decorate. They're cute. They're fun. So let's go ahead and do this last project. So for this one, I also used the Nested Essentials dies. So I think it was this second to smallest one right here that we used. And again, you don't have to have this if you get the kit. I'm going to cut this out for you. Okay. All right. So let's start with one of the scalloped gift card boxes. This comes, I think, in a pack of 10. And the price right now is really inexpensive because they're on last chance. So, I mean, it might be like $5 and something cents. So they're very inexpensive boxes. Okay, this is the insert for the inside. So we're just going to fold that. That's going to sit up. You guys remember how these work, right? We're just folding these in. So let me just loosen up all these folds and get this going. All right. I like to do... Sorry, I'm just making sure that I have a little flexibility. I like to do the sides first, fold that in, fold this over, it just tucks in. We're not even using any glue. I love that. Again, favorite boxes, so awesome, so easy. And then this last one we just tuck in right here. That's it, there's our box, okay? So this front flap, let me fold that, and that's gonna go down in the front, all right? So now we can go ahead and put one of our cute little dinosaur necklaces in here. Let's stand it up like it's real jewelry. This looks like a little blue T-Rex, super cute. So we'll put that in there. Now, we're gonna wanna hold it shut. So I'm going back to Peach Pie Ordered Ribbon. This is gonna go away because I think they bring in new in color ribbon with the new catalog. I think this is going away. I love this, and I think this is on low inventory right now, this Peach Pie ribbon. But it's just such a pretty color, isn't it pretty? And it's nice ribbon to work with. I've really loved having this ribbon in all the in colors this year. It's been awesome. I've used the heck out of it. I love Stampin' Up! Ribbon because there's so much of it on a roll. And of course it coordinates with all the colors perfectly. So I am definitely a fan of their ribbon. All right, so we're gonna tie this in front. That way after we decorate, they can still open and close it just by untying the front and lifting up the top. Oh, Renee, you're so good. You already made your Mother's Day card. She said immediately after her Easter cards. You are so good. You're so organized. I'm living on the edge. I just can't. I don't know. For somebody who makes cards all the time, I can't seem to send out my birthday cards on time or my Easter cards on time. I don't know. I have some work to do on that. Okay, so easy decoration, right? We're going to start with some pumpkin pie cardstock. This is 4 by 2 3/4. Again, Friends of the Ocean. This is a different pattern. You can see in the Melon Mambo. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that too well, but it's a cute pattern. And this is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So we're going to have that a little bit thicker border. So we can put that down. Okay. All right. Now we're going to get fancy again. We're going to take this die cut and we're going to do one last time a little bit of blending. And again, this time I'm not worrying about the edges. I'm going to use Granny Apple Green again for our grassy area. Let me start with the Balmy Blue for the sky first. It's a very small area that we're working with. Did you guys notice in the new catalog, for those of you who have seen the new catalog or have the new catalog already, that the watercolor painters are not in this year? At least I think I saw that right, which makes me sad because I like to do a little watercolor background sometimes too. I mean, the blending brushes are great, those will work, but I really do like to do a little bit of watercolor sometimes. And so now we'll just have to use our own brushes, I guess, if we're going to do some watercoloring. Okay, Granny Apple for the grass. We're going to do the same thing we did on the last one, right? And just going across with some of this Granny Apple. A very, I don't know, what do you want to say? Not a distinct line between sky and grass, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, next. We're going to take the Granny Apple Green that I just closed again. Good thing they're easy to open and close. And we're going to make some more flowers. So we're going to stamp these first. I think my Granny Apple needs to be re-inked. So we'll do the same thing with this. And we're going to add some flowers again. Because why wouldn't we, right? So Melon Mambo comes back. I feel like these are such happy colors. All right, back to our stamp for the flowers. Sweet, cute little flowers. And then we've made a lovely little background for our dinosaur. Okay. I think I've used that little piece of scrap enough, right? Colored all over it. Okay, let's look at our background up close. Cute. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so this time we're going to take our scrap, and then we have this is just a little piece of 1/2 inch. and it's about 2.5 inches long. All right, so we're just doing You're the Best, and I did that in black again. So let me get out my self-made memento and find You're the Best. Okay, our friend, the Stegosaurus. And we're also going to do 2 of the flowers. All right. Okay, so how did we color these? Let me show you. I went back to pumpkin pie and did pumpkin pie with a little bit of melon mambo, right, for the horns, and I left a little bit white when I redid it. And then I used same colors we're using, so I used Daffodil Delight for the flowers with melon mambo inside and Granny Apple Green for the leaves. All right, so easy to color. Die cut those out. So here is our dinosaur. We've got our 2 flowers. I think I'm going to recolor these because I used the light this time and I feel like they don't show up as well. And then I took that ribbon that we used before, the Daffodil Delight, and made a very tiny little bow to put on our cute little Stegosaurus friend. Okay, so let me get out, where's my dark daffodil? Hold on. I feel like my markers are so far away. This one. Ah, Renee, yes. She says she's doing a large diamond painting that she's trying to get done, but it keeps getting interrupted by needing cards. Wait, I can't see the rest of your comments. So I tried to get them done. Oh, and now on Father's Day, okay. I bet that is really pretty, your diamond painting. I bet that's gorgeous. Those are really pretty. I don't know if I'd have the patience for that. But I bet the end result is gorgeous. All right, so I'm just recoloring these to put the dark Daffodil Delight so they stand out a little bit more. Okay, let's put it together. Let's just build right on here. I'm gonna take some adhesive. I'm gonna take a lot of adhesive because we're going over the ribbon and everything. Put that right in the middle of our box. So we've got a little bit of a white border that shows. All right. Let's pop this up. We're going to use up the rest of this dimensional sheet tonight, aren't we? So, you know, I told you guys I did that watercolor class, right? So I spent a lot of time this past weekend kind of organizing my craft room and getting a lot of things out. And I had to set up an area just to be able to do watercoloring, because if you're actually going to do watercoloring, I feel like, at least for me, I need a place to just walk in, sit down, and all my stuff is there ready to go. I just have to fill up my little waters and everything else is there ready to go. So I did that this weekend, so I'm kind of happy I got that done. I still have some more craft room cleaning to do and organizing, but I felt like it was a big accomplishment to get that done. And I'm really hoping to have some time soon to play with more watercoloring. I got some really good books and love that. All right, going in the middle. Somehow I managed to get a little thing on here, but that's right where our joint is. Well, gee, I wonder what happened, right? Hold on. That's just where the dinosaur is going to go, so it's perfect. Let me see if I can get my hands cleaned off a little bit. Okay, popping up the dinosaur. Let's add a little glue dot to put the bow on. Everything's better with a bow. Now she's fancy. Anybody have any plans for this weekend? Lisa, you said you were in Gettysburg today. I bet that was fun. It's nice to get away. How far is that for you? I'm just curious. Okay, that's that. I'm just going to glue the flowers down. All right. Not going to pop them up. My glue's starting to dry up. So we'll put one right here. Why won't you stay? Not enough glue. Now my flower's crooked. Okay, one more. I'm gonna stay. Hi, Shelly. How are you? That's step one, Shelly. I had to do step one. Find the space for the watercoloring. I miss it already. All right, I'm going to cut this off right here along the edge. Move it up just a tad. Okay, let's add, this time I used these beautiful party dots, okay, and these are coming back soon, like really soon. I think the 28th of April. And so they have this beautiful, I guess, daffodil looking color. So let's use some of those dots. Whoops. And just put those on. All right, you guys, so don't forget about free shipping. Free shipping on $75 or more. This time it's for 3 whole days, so gives you plenty of time to look at all the specials and see what you need. I know that cardstock is going up, so I personally am going to get some cardstock over the next 3 days and stock up before the prices go up when the new catalog comes out. I'm just going to cut these on an angle, pop it up, and then this cute little treat box is finished. All right, and we put the candy in, right? Yes, we did. I'm going to put this on the same angle here. So that's it. That is our last project. All right, let's pull these back and show you guys what we worked on tonight. So we have our cute little blue cards. We have our girl cards here. We have our cute little necklace, candy necklace dinosaur cards. And then we have our little bubble project. So lots of fun stuff for the kids, for the grandkids. Adults will love it too, right? Okay, a couple quick things before we go. If you guys would like the measurements for this will go out in my email tomorrow. If you're on my email list, this will go in the mail tomorrow, and you can download it and have all the measurements and supplies for these projects. If you are not on my email list, but you think you would like the project sheet, just email me and I will be happy to send that to you. It's sunshineandsparklesstamping@gmail.com. Just a reminder, if you like paper pumpkin set for this month is Mountain Majesties, kind of a masculine Father's Day sentiments. That'll make some great. Take the pressure off of Father's Day, right, to do these. Don't forget about the add-on kit. Do I have that to show you? I do. Here's the dies that are extra for this kit. They're only $12. And I do want to tell you, I got the paper pumpkin. I haven't had a chance to do it. So this was this past month's paper pumpkin. Look at these colors. Are these colors right up my alley or what? And so it's got a berry burst. It's got some really beautiful stamps. And look at these cards. I can't wait to make these. If you need a paper pumpkin, I have an extra one. Just email me and I'll be happy to, so you can buy that. Okay. All right. I think that's it. You guys, thanks so much for joining me. I love spending this time with you guys on Tuesday. Have a great week and I'll see y'all next time. All right. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.